Hello, lovelies. I've said it before and I will say it again. When it comes to weeknight cooking, nothing beats a dinner that comes together in 15 minutes or less. So today I've got 3 new 15-minute dinner ideas that I think you're going to love. They're full of supermarket cheats to make your life a little easier and of course a lot more delicious. Speaking of easy and delicious, I did want to remind you that my brand new cookbook will be arriving on store shelves in just under a month, which I'm so pumped about, guys. As you know, it's full of original recipes, plus a ton of great Domestic Geek classics. The book will officially be available in stores on April 23rd, but if you want to pre-order your copy so you get it the first day it comes out, I'm offering a sneak peek at 5 of my very favorite recipes before they're available to anyone else. All you need to do is click the link in the description, type in your receipt number, and you'll get a PDF with 5 delicious recipes that I think you guys are going to love. Now, let's get to some 15-minute dinner ideas because let's be honest, I'm getting hungry. First up today, guys, we are making a crispy gnocchi with a warm bruschetta topping. How amazing does that sound? Now, to keep this recipe super simple, we are using store-bought gnocchi. You can usually find this in the same aisle as the fresh pasta at your supermarket. If you've never made homemade gnocchi before, it is definitely worth the labor of love if you have a few extra hours on a weekend. My friend Alicia and I actually made some homemade gnocchi on our show Friday Night Supper Club, and it was hysterically funny.
You see how it's like shooting?
Did you get it in your wine glass? If you've never seen that episode, I will link it below. You can take a look and have a good laugh at our expense. Now I'm just going to get our gnocchi into some boiling water. We want to let it cook for about a minute or 2 just to help it soften up a little bit. In the meantime, I'm going to fire up my skillet here with just a little bit of oil because we're essentially going to boil our gnocchi first and then transfer it right into our oiled skillet. You know the key to making this gnocchi perfect is to actually pan fry it after it's been boiled so it gets a nice crisp exterior. You guys didn't think we could do a gnocchi pun, did you? No kidding. The coolest part about gnocchi is that it's got a built-in mechanism to show you when it's ready. It actually will rise to the top of your boiling water, and that's how you know it is ready to rock. There is something very strangely satisfying about gnocchi coming to the top of a boiling pot of water. So my gnocchi is nice and happy. I am going to go in with a nice slotted spoon. We're gonna give this a good shake and then get it right into the pan. Now you'll notice that I am doing this in a non-stick skillet. The amount of starch that is in this gnocchi loves to stick to the pan. So do yourself a favor, especially if you're weeknight cooking, use a non-stick pan for this recipe. You will not regret it. That is me imparting my wisdom on you. Look how crisp and yummy these have gotten. They're nice and golden on the exterior. That means it is time to transfer them out of this pan and we're just gonna get to work on our bruschetta topping. So I'm gonna add just a little more oil to my pan and then I'm going to add some shallots and garlic to that. We'll get those fired up, a little softened. It only takes about a minute or so until they're nice and beautifully aromatic. Then we can throw our tomatoes into the pan. I'm gonna cook those up again for maybe just 2 to 3 minutes, just until they're heated through. To finish this all off, I'm going to add a splash of white wine vinegar and some freshly chopped basil, and you have all of the deliciousness of bruschetta. We're gonna pile our crispy gnocchi on a bed of arugula, top it with this amazing sauce, and there you have it, weeknight dinner you can feel really, really good about. A great vegetarian option, and of course, perfect for Meatless Monday. Next, because a lot of you guys have been requesting more fish recipes on the channel, I'm going to whip up a pan-seared whitefish with a lemon butter sauce. And we're actually going to start by making our lemon butter sauce, which couldn't be simpler because it actually only has 2 ingredients, lemon juice and butter. Now, usually you would make your sauce second, but in this case, this sauce requires a ton of attention, even though it doesn't require a ton of time. So we don't wanna be doing 2 things at once. We wanna make sure we're focused on our sauce. Now, the secret to this sauce is brown butter. You guys probably know this by now, but when you brown butter, it becomes much more rich and deep in flavor. It almost brings out this nutty flavor that I absolutely love. It's important to keep in mind though, the difference between browned butter and burned butter is a matter of seconds. So you really wanna keep an eye on it. That's why we're going to make our sauce first before we even cook our fish. The best way to know that your butter has browned properly is when you start to smell this nutty aroma. That's how you know it is time to turn off the heat, and you can simply pour in your lemon juice, give it a stir, and it's that simple. You have this gorgeous sauce that you can set aside until your fish is fully cooked. Now to cook my fish, I'm gonna start once again with a non-stick skillet on the stove. I'm just going to add a little oil to that and let it heat up until that oil is nice and hot. In the meantime, I am going to get to work on preparing my fish. In this recipe, I'm using sole. You could use any white fish. Tilapia and haddock would both do the trick. I like patting them off with some paper towels to make sure they have a nice dry exterior, then seasoning them up liberally with some salt and some pepper. Once your fish is seasoned up, you can go ahead and dredge it through your flour. Now the idea here is just to get a light dusting of flour on both sides of your fish. It gives them a beautiful texture. You wanna make sure you shake off any excess flour before getting them into the pan. As long as your oil is nice and hot when your fish hits the pan, it should only take a few minutes for your fish to cook completely and to get this nice golden crust. Then you can take your fish out of the pan and use that very same pan to cook up some veggies. Today I'm doing some asparagus. I'll let my asparagus cook for 3 to 4 minutes or so until it turns bright green and is nice and tender. The good news is in a pan this hot, your asparagus will take no time to cook. Just as your asparagus is finished, you can go in with a little bit of lemon zest and finally some lemon juice to finish it all off. And it is ready to be enjoyed, topped with that amazing lemon butter sauce. Come on, guys. That is a dinner you can feel really good about in 15 minutes or less. My last recipe, guys, is actually easier than my first two, if you can believe it. We are making a spin on a white chicken chili. So if you're not familiar with white chili, the idea is that it doesn't have any tomatoes in it, which is why they call it a white chili. In this case, the flavor for this white chicken chili is going to come from some salsa verde. Salsa verde is this amazing sauce that starts by roasting up some tomatillos in the oven with a little bit of onion and some jalapeno pepper to create something that is incredibly flavorful. I'm using store-bought today, but I have made homemade on the channel before and it is incredible. If you want to try it for yourself, I'll link a recipe in the description box below. So for this dish, I've got a soup pot on the stove. I'm just going to combine some cooked shredded chicken with some white kidney beans or cannellini beans, depending on where you are in the world. I'm going to add my salsa verde to the pot, a little bit of chicken broth, and then finally I'll add some cumin to the pot. I'm just going to bring this to a boil and then reduce my heat to medium and let it simmer away for just 10 minutes or so. That's all the time it takes to make this recipe come together. To finish it off, I serve it up with some avocado, some fresh cilantro, and a little bit of lime, and it is so super satisfying. Super, really. No, it's not soup, it's chili. That didn't work at all.
And scene.
And scene. Guys, I hope you found these 15-minute dinner ideas inspiring and that you will try them for yourselves. If you do, be sure to tweet me, Instagram me, or Facebook me a photo because I love seeing your kitchen creations. And of course, you'll have lots of time on your hands because they came together so quickly. Don't forget that my cookbook, Meals Made Easy, is available for pre-order. All the details are linked below. And finally, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe because there is lots more deliciousness where this came from.